the Japanese yen translates to about $102 million. So in total, the new loans amount to an estimated $24.14 billion. And when converted at the official rate of 1,583 naira to the dollar, the naira equivalent of these loans come to about 38.24 trillion naira. So that's one of the headlines you would find on Punch today. NFIU probes 48 billion naira suspicious transfers to Dubai and Hong Kong. The Nigerian financial intelligence flows. There was a report that was released for May 2025, and it was obtained by Punch correspondents. The NFIU revealed that it received 401 suspicious transaction reports linked to both regions between January 2021 naira. You'll find more details of the story on Punch, so grab a copy. U.S. suspends students' visas as Harvard protests Trump's cuts. If you followed us on News Across Africa of about 2 days ago, you'd have heard the story about the face-off between Donald Trump and Harvard University as it concerns international students. In fact, the president, Donald Trump, said Harvard should at this time not take any more foreign students until the existing international students of Harvard be transferred to other schools. So U.S. Secretary of State yesterday ordered a suspension of student visa totally. So there will be no student visa processing in the latest swipe at foreign students in the country. The White House is trying to crack down on foreign students at U.S. universities. They've revoked visas and they've deported those involved in protests against the war in Gaza, and they've accused them of supporting Palestinian militant group Hamas. In fact, more details you'd find on Punch, so grab a copy. World Health Organization cuts budget after U.S. withdrawal, faces $1.7 billion shortfall. Remember when I took the story on News Across Africa, where some countries are coming together and making a choice of donating money to fund WHO projects? Well, it may seem as if even with the donations, they're not exactly standing on a four-legged table yet, because they're still feeling the pinch of U.S. withdrawal from being a member nation of WHO. They've tried to stabilize the finances. There was an annual assembly that was held. It ended on Tuesday yesterday, but it still remains well short of reaching the already reduced target. Headline news on Citizen FM 93.7. We're still looking at headlines on Punch today. PDP NEC under pressure as INEC validates Wike-backed secretary. So they said that the fact-finding committee of the People's Democratic Party National Caucus, led by Taraba State Governor, informed the NEC, that's the National Executive Committee, on Tuesday that INEC had recognized Senator Samuel Anyanwu as the party's national secretary. If you remember, on Monday, the NEC established a 3-member committee led by the Taraba Governor, Kefas, with Governors Dauda Lawal of Zamfara and Peter Mbao of Enugu, as well as PDP National Legal Advisor Kalmeldin Ajibade, as members to verify whether INEC recognized Anyanwu as the party's scribe. So Punch has it that multiple sources have confirmed that Kefas panel informed NEC of PDP on Tuesday in Abuja that INEC had indeed affirmed Anyanwu as the party's national secretary in line with the Supreme Court judgment. That's not all the story, of course. You'll find more of it in the belly of Punch, so grab a copy. Schools shut as diphtheria outbreak claims lives in Enugu. In Imo community, rather, not Enugu. Schools shut as diphtheria outbreak claims lives in Imo community. A diphtheria outbreak has been reported in Umbutu community in Abombise local government area of Imo State, and it has led to the death of several children, and that has prompted an immediate closure of schools in the area. Punch reports that the exact number of fatalities have not been confirmed yet, but the chairman of Abombise local government area, Alaribe, confirmed the development in a statement that was issued on May 26, 2025. 2027 North South behind Tinubu, says Orji Kalu. Hajj 2025, Nigerian pilgrims die in Saudi Arabia. Nigerian pilgrims die in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia declares June 6 as Salah Day. It has announced the sighting of the crescent moon, marking the start of Dhul Hijjah, the 12th and final month of the Islamic lunar calendar. According to the announcement that was made on X on Tuesday by Haramain Sharifain, Dhul Hijjah will commence, or 1446 will commence on Wednesday, May 28th. That's today, 2025. More headlines. Nigerians are used to easy money. Orji Kalu defends Tinubu's economic reforms. Scandal hits judge, steps down from Maradona death trial. Scandal hits judge, steps down from Maradona death trial. U.S. suspends. Okay, I took that headline earlier. Residents Crown Fund to rehabilitate dilapidated Ogun State. Industrial machine kills employee in Ogun factory. 1 killed, 10 rescued in Lagos building collapse. 1 killed, 10 rescued in Lagos building collapse. Female FRSC official missing. Gunmen. Oh, okay. 2 hospitalized as vehicles collide in Lagos. 2 oil marketers jailed 28 years for 2.2 billion naira subsidy fraud. 2 oil marketers jailed 28 years for 2.2 billion naira subsidy fraud. Those are all the headlines we can take today on Punch. Let's head on now to Pen Pushing Platform. Ogun State First Lady, Ministry of Women Affairs, Celebrate Children, frowns at bullying. That's marking Children's Day of yesterday, May 27. And this year's 2025. 13 years after trial, son of former People's Democratic Party chairman bags 14 years over oil subsidy fraud. Mob attack. Okay, divisional police. Okay, that was the report from Kano State, but that's not exactly news of today. Moshood Abiola Polytechnic to hold 15th combined convocation ceremony on June 24th. We have Daily Times right here. 15-year $500 million Nigeria Trust Fund, additional grateful to the federal government, gives account of 10-year stewardship as AFDB president. Abbas to defend Rivers budget before joint NAS committee. You'd find details of that story on page 5 of Daily Times. Abbas to defend Rivers budget before joint NAS committee. 80% of workers lack social protection. That's a report from NECA. You'll find details of that on page 9. Reps move to restructure Nigeria's finance sector. Where would you find that? On page 7 of the Daily Times. NAFDAC uncovers fake drug factory in Delta State. Children's Day. Tinubu reaffirms committee to child protection. You find details of that story on page 12. And the big photo you'd find on the front page of Daily Times. SGF Senator George Akome, CON, represented by Honorable Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, inaugurates Presidential Committee on Implementation of Digital Public Infrastructure yesterday in Abuja. And above the masthead, troops Foil attacks on New Marte Kumshe neutralize scores of insurgents in Borno. That's on page 10. Tinubu asks NAS to approve $21.5 billion foreign loan, 758 billion naira pensions bond. This day is up next for the 28th day of May 2025. It says NEC, PDP NEC, that's PDP National Executive Media Council. Tinubu's negligence, abdication of constitutional duties, bowing terrorism, says policy inconsistency, wholesome corruption, massive. This is not so clear. It's not legible enough. I'm straining my eyes so very much to see the stories, but I can't. We need to move on to other stories. June 12, Kola Abiola demands recognition for persons murdered and jailed by Abacha. That story starts on the front page and continues on page 9 of this day. Tinubu seeks National Assembly's approval for fresh $23.5 billion, 2.265 billion pounds, 15 billion yen, 757.9 billion naira loans. Debt ruling plan outlines external borrowing for federal, sub-national governments for over 2 years. Finance Ministry clarifies that the debt rolling plan outlines external borrowing for federal and sub-national governments for over 2 years. Says debt rolling plan does not equate to automatic increase in the nation's debt burden. Find out more on page 9 of this day. One of the photos you would find on the front page of this day, guest lecture series hosted by Access Bank. You'd see a guest at the event hosted by Access Bank at Access Tower, Victoria Island, Lagos. And the second, you'd see Minister of Women Affairs, Minister of State for Education, wife of the Deputy Senate President, wife of the Speaker, House of Representatives, wife of the Vice President, First Lady of Nigeria, Minister for Education, let me see that. Yep, Sultan of Sokoto, Governor of Borno State. Who else am I missing? Emir of Zozo, at the launch of the Special Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Development, AGILE. Additional financing to State and Agile Games Award ceremony held at the State House in Abuja yesterday. That was in relation to marking of the Children's Day event in Nigeria. Take a break now. When we come back, more headlines coming your way. We still have nature news, Business Day, and a lot more ahead. It is Citizen FM 93.7.
It has just begun.
You found it.
You found it. Citizen 93.7 FM. Great job. We are the best. The best. To 93.7 Citizen FM. Based in Nigeria's capital. Your #1 radio station.
The Renewed Hope Agenda for Nigeria is the brainchild of President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. It is geared towards renewing the hopes of Nigerians for a better future through its policies, projects, and programs that are aimed towards lifting the GDP and economic growth of the nation by improving standard of living of the average Nigerian. The Renewed Hope Agenda Radio is poised to promote all of the above while enlightening Nigerians as well. Join us every Tuesday afternoon, 2 p.m. on Citizen FM Radio, 93.7, Labor House, Central Business District, Abuja. Renewed Hope Agenda Radio on 93.7 FM. The future starts today.
We believe in this nation, and we'll get there.
Did you miss out on the news during the week? Not to worry. Retrospect is here to make up for the missed information. Retrospect is a complete package of all the major news headlines that made the airwaves from Sunday to Saturday. Join me, Esther Musu, on the program Retrospect on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja every Sunday at 6 p.m. Retrospect. We keep you informed.
Are you a student looking for a voice? Do you want to discuss the issues that matter most to you? Tune in to Student Affairs every Wednesday at 12:05 p.m. on Citizens 93.7 FM Abuja. Join the conversation as we dissect the latest trends, challenges, and successes affecting students. From academics to entertainment, we have got you covered. Don't miss out on the debate, the discussion, the dialogue, and much more. Be part of Student Affairs every Wednesday at 12:05 p.m. on Citizens 93.7 FM, Abuja. Student Affairs, empowering students' voices, every Wednesday at 12:05 p.m. on Citizens 93.7 FM, Abuja.
kẹkùnrin ó gbọ́ kó sọ fún toko kẹ́dùn gbọ́kọ̀rọ̀ fọ́ bẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ètò kan tí yóò ṣọ bí òṣùmọ̀ lójú ọ̀run ìgbádùn rẹpẹtẹ pẹ̀lú baba kéńgbé tí yóò ṣọ lórí iléeṣẹ́ Citizen FM 93.7 Àbújá ìgbádùn rẹpẹtẹ pẹ̀lú baba kéńgbé ètò aláre yóò máa mìlú títì bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti agogo 9 sí agogo 11 alalẹ́ ọjọ́ ìsinmi Sunday ọmọ yín olólùfẹ́ yín ni Olú Tọmọrí Wílọ́bì MC Tiza baba kéńgbé ọ̀rọ̀ fún ẹ̀ jagunmúlà pèdàgbáyé làtọ́kùn ètò ẹ má gbàgbé o ìgbádùn rẹpẹtẹ pẹ̀lú baba kéńgbé lálálẹ́ Sunday ni o bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti agogo 9 títí dé agogo 11 gbáko lórí iléeṣẹ́ alálùbáríkà Citizen FM 93.7 Àbújá àbúrò dé o ẹ má mí ìṣe o mẹ̀sí kọ̀kú.
Abuja. Wake up. Reach out. Speak up. Speak out. You are the voice of a new generation. And this is your station. Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM.
Okie dokie, back we are, 8:27 a.m., Citizen FM 93.7, post Children's Day, 28th of May, 2025. We're looking at headlines across dailies today, newspaper headlines. Nigerian News Direct is up next. APC Tinubu desperate to annihilate opposition parties. That's what PDP NEC is saying. The National Executive Committee of PDP says Tinubu APC desperate to annihilate opposition parties, says APC driven by fear of 2027 election defeat as Sule Lamido vows to boycott PDP meetings until Wike or Tom are expelled. You find details of that story on page 22. State of States. Special reports on midterm performance of Nigerian leaders. Check page 5 for details of that. Lagos to build key waste recovery recycling plant in major environmental push. See page 21. If you check page 7, pension reliabilities. Tinubu seeks reps approval for 759.9 billion naira bond. Pensions liabilities. On page 8, court orders Aerofy to pay 900 million naira damages over unlawful detention. Court orders Aerofy to pay 900 million naira damages over unlawful detention. Afenifere appoints Olufale as chairman. Call for restructuring. See page 22 for details of that story. And those are the stories you would find on the front page of Nigerian News Direct for today. Let's move on to leadership now. Check page 22 of leadership to get details of that story. Examination malpractice now attracts 3-year ban. Tinubu seeks NAS approval for $21.5 billion loan and other borrowings. That's also on page 22. Tinubu seeks NAS approval for $21.5 billion loan and other borrowings. Second anniversary knocks kudos for Tinubu on security. There are knocks and there are also kudos. Concerns over attacks in 5 months. Several terrorists eliminated and arms recovered. Photos on the front page of leadership is a cross-section of children engaged in activities to celebrate 2025 Children's Day across states. You'd see Abuja, Enugu, Ibadan, and Katsina states captured. Students looking all clean, proper, and in happy mode. Benue to start juice production by August. Benue to start juice production by August. Afenifere appoints Olufale as NEC chairman. Amadou Alu's son jailed 14 years for 2.2 billion naira subsidy fraud. Children's Day. Federal government, states pledge protection and better future. Check page 4 to see details of that. NEC stalemate over PDP national scribe. That's on page 7. And something from the world of business. Foreign domestic transactions dropped by 633.47 billion naira in April. Speaking on equity, it says foreign domestic transactions dropped by 633.47 billion naira in April. Million girls in Nigeria alone cannot afford sanitary pad. Happy World Menstrual Hygiene Day. Happy World Menstrual Hygiene Day. 10 million girls in Nigeria alone cannot afford sanitary pads. That's on the front page of The Guardian. Fresh loans may push Nigeria's debt to 182 trillion naira. Check page 6 for details of that. And that's about all that we can see on the front page of The Guardian today. The rest of it, Telegraph. Nigeria's debt stock to hit $115.73 billion as Tinubu seeks approval for fresh 21.5 billion naira loan. The story is quite spread out. You'd have to check pages 2, 4, 5, 7, and 27 for details. Condemns bullying and promises better future and environment for children. PDP crisis lingers as NEC fails to ratify National Secretary. That's on pages 2 and 3. Let's see. Abuja FCT Minister absent. Atiku FCT Minister absent. Wike betrayed party that built his political career. Bode George says Wike betrayed the party that built his political career. We will not succumb to intimidation and exclusion. That's what Mohammed says. Yeah, that's the front page of New Telegraph for today. Business Day is up next. Cash ditched as 72 million naira transferred every second. Cash ditched as 72 million naira is transferred every second. I'm sure this is a report of online banking these days. A lot of people are not doing cash anymore. Check out page 30 for more details. That's according to Business Day. They said cash have been ditched. 72 million naira is transferred every single second. Starts on the front page, continues on 20. Power cut deemed Nigeria's biggest asset. What's that asset? You have to find out on Business Day. Nigeria launches first ever flare gas digital infrastructure project. So far, we've looked at Punch, we've looked at pen pushing platform, Nigerian Tribune, This Day, This Day and the Daily Times. You have reactions to any one of the stories we've taken so far, or any one of the headlines we've looked at so far. Feel free to call me up and give your reaction, but please, you must be civil and keep it straight to the point. The number again, or the number is 0903 2229797. That's the number we'll be using today. Yep, I hope it is right here. Okay, got that? Yeah, it's active now. 0903 2229797. Okay. Call me again. You can text, you can send a WhatsApp message to 0818 2222205. 0818 2222205. In the meantime, let's get back to more headlines. Nature news is ahead. Ahead of COP30 in Brazil, Nigeria to host Africa Climate Change Summit. Nigeria to host Africa Climate Change Summit. You find details of that story on page 3 of Nature News. Why water management determines Africa's agricultural future. That's also on page 3. On page 5, how to strengthen Africa's food security and climate resilience. Agribusiness leaders are speaking. Almost a tongue twister there. Agribusiness leaders are speaking on how to strengthen Africa's food security and climate resilience on page 5 of Nature News. Alkaline steam bath lowers blood pressure. Experts are saying alkaline steam baths lower blood pressure. So if you can have a steam bath of alkaline, it could lower your blood pressure. NACOP 25 holds in Maiduguri to craft power sector reforms. NACOP 25 holds in Maiduguri to craft power sector reforms. The details of that story is also on page 5. Another one from page 5. Water, energy, emerging global threats, according to experts. Water, energy, emerging global threat. Outrage as a foreign vessel allegedly throws Nigerian stowaways overboard. The story starts on the front page of Nature News and continues on page 3. of the front page papers today, you'd see an editorial, and it's so recurring that it may have swallowed up a lot of the headlines. But let's see what else we can get. Daily Sun is up next. Tinubu furious over stealing of recovered loots and assets. Tinubu furious over stealing of recovered loot and assets, reassures Nigerians on accountability, seeks Senate approval for over $23 billion, 67 billion naira, 758 billion naira pension bonds. Pages 6 and 9 have details of that story. Federal government directs JAM, WAEC, others to ban miracle centers. Find the details of that story on page 6. 2027, President's endorsement is driven by performance, not fear of opposition. Kalu responds on page 7. Remember when PDP said that the APC was driven by fear of losing the elections? Well, Kalu is saying that endorsing the president for 2027 is not driven by fear, it is performance driven. Children's Day. Tinubu, Akpabio, governors raise hopes. We want Nigeria where no child is exploited or excluded. Children's Parliament say we want Nigeria where no child is exploited or excluded. Pages 6, 7, 8, and 27 have details of that story on Daily Sun. Nigerian Tribune. Tinubu writes NAS seeks $21.5 billion external loan and 758 billion naira pension bond. Details of that's on page 3. Ex-PDP chairman's son, accomplice. Ex-PDP chairman's son and accomplice jailed 14 years for 2.2 billion naira subsidy scam. Check page 13 of Nigerian Tribune. One dies, many trapped in Ikorodu building collapse. 21 has details. One dies, many trapped in Ikorodu building collapse. Muslims to observe Eid al-Kabir on Friday, June 6. 1.2 million Nigerians displaced by floods in 2024. That's a report from NEMA. It says 1.2 million Nigerians displaced by floods in 2024. If you check page 10 of Nigerian Tribune, you see details of that story. INEC still recognizes Anyanwu as PDP National Secretary, according to report. Committee urges PDP to follow due process on Southeast replacement demand. That story is featured on page 21. What else on the front page of Nigerian Tribune? Federal government directs 3-year ban on students caught in exam malpractices. JAM, WAEC, NECO to ban centers involved in exam fraud. Still on the front page of Nigerian Tribune, APC is plotting one-party rule out of fear of 2027 defeats. PDP next says, we will never succumb to intimidation and exclusion, governors say. INEC to discuss National Secretary position on June 30. I will not attend PDP meetings until Wike or Tom others are expelled. Who said that? Lamido. Where would you find the details? Pages 3 and 4 of Nigerian Tribune. Troops foil ISWAP attack on Mate Kills scores, recovers explosives. That's also on page 13. It's Citizen FM 93.7. To react to any one of the stories we've taken so far, you can call 0903 2229797. Or you can send a WhatsApp. Oh, yeah, I've seen why. I may not be able to see your WhatsApp messages because the internet on that system is absolutely down. So you may have to just call. If you're sending WhatsApp messages and they're not going through, I'm sorry, that's why. Yeah, it's absolutely disconnected. But I'm sure that hopefully before we round off, we'll be connected back. Otherwise, you can just call me. The only number it's 0903-2229-797. I just saw that. Sorry about that. We have Daily Monitor here. Take practical steps to address insecurity and economic hardship in Nigeria. Expresses concern over security challenges, including attacks on communities. That's just, PDP to Tinubu. Wow, could have missed that. It's just right up there, PDP to Tinubu. They say take practical steps to address economic insecurity and economic hardship in Nigeria. Nigeria's economic growth slows amid global uncertainties. That's a report from AFDB, African Development Bank. Says Nigeria's economy is projected to grow at a slower pace, with its real GDP growth at 3.2% in 2025 and 3.1% in 2026. So it's going to be lower. It's getting lower. 20 million Nigerians are living with mental health issues, says World Health Organization. I don't know, that almost made me laugh. 20 million Nigerians living with mental health issues, says WHO. ECOWAS hails Customs B Odogu Initiative or Innovation and Trade. ECOWAS hails Customs B Odogu Innovation and Trade. That's on page 12 of Daily Monitor. We want Nigeria where no child is exploited or excluded. Children's Parliament speaks on page 2, and on page 5, rights violation. Court slams 900 million naira in damages against El-Rufai and others. And above the masthead on Daily Monitor, it says federal government will ensure recovery of all stolen assets and funds, says Tinubu. Now we have a Spotting Sun, and whenever you hear Spotting Sun, you know that we're just about running off on newspaper headlines for the day. So what stories can we find on Spotting Sun? Osimhen rules out joining Juventus. Gala fans are begging Osimhen on Times Square billboard in New York. Wow. Gala fans are begging Osimhen on Times Square billboard in New York as another Saudi club joins race for Super Eagles star. Osimhen rules out joining Juventus. Super Eagles Black Stars in explosive clash in London. Super Eagles and Black Stars in explosive clash in London. Besiktas to splash 20 million pounds on Olaino. Besiktas to splash 20 million pounds on Olaino. Defender nominated for Premier League Fan Team of the Year. Defender nominated for Premier League Fan Team of the Year. Sevilla, Iheanacho hires personal trainer. Speaking on Sevilla, Iheanacho hires a personal trainer. Djokovic extends perfect French Open record by beating McDonald. Djokovic extends perfect French Open record by beating McDonald. Fernandez gets 60 hours to accept bumper Al Hilal deal. Wow, in 60 hours? You have to or not? Fernandez gets 60 hours to accept bumper or Al Hilal deal. 27 hospitalized in Liverpool parade honor. 27 hospitalized in Liverpool parade honor. That's on page 2. On page 3, Chelsea bangs on Sancho for Maresca first trophy. Arsenal tables £17 million bid for Gyökeres. Bayern adds Gakpo to shopping list. Anthony, I considered retirement at Man United, but I'm happy now at Betis. Okay, let's see up there. What else can we find? Yep, there are more stories on Sporting Sun. Barca reaches full agreement with Yamal. On my long-term contract with Ballon d'Or included. Okay, no. I'll take that again. Barcelona reaches full agreement with Yamal on new long-term contract with Ballon d'Or bonus included. Okay. Ronaldo confirms Al Nassr exit. Mbappe offered an iconic Nodric's number 10 shirt. And finally, Chelsea emerges shock contender to sign Ansu Fati. Thank you very much for staying with us on Newspaper Headlines today, the 28th day of May 2025. Tomorrow is another day, but do not forget, top of the hour, news on the hour will be coming your way. And right on the heels of that, Sports Senator Fashi Emmanuel will be hitting your airways with updates in the world of sports. And Lawrence Moite is waiting just for him to round off as he brings to you insights. Stay with us.
Are you a student looking for a voice? Do you want to discuss the issues that matter most to you? Tune in to Student Affairs every Wednesday at 12:05 p.m. on Citizens 93.7 FM Abuja. Join the conversation as we dissect the latest trends, challenges, and successes affecting students. From academics to entertainment, we have got you covered. Don't miss out on the debate, the discussion, the dialogue, and much more. Be part of Student Affairs every Wednesday at 12:05 p.m. on Citizens 93.7 FM, Abuja. Student Affairs, empowering students' voices, every Wednesday at 12:05 p.m. on Citizens 93.7 FM, Abuja.